So for the first lesson in Nitro 4.1 that we have to actually write some code in, which is lesson 6, they're setting up this Taffy Tester, so to speak. So we're going to set up a couple variables. Let's set up the temperature starting at 0, and then we need a scanner to get some input from the user. And then we're going to do this line here that says starting the Taffy timer, system.out.println, starting the Taffy timer. And then we're going to do a while loop. While the temperature is less than 270, as long as the temperature is less than 270, then we want to keep asking them for a temperature. So we're going to say system.out.println. Let's first prompt our user to enter a temperature. Enter the temperature. And then temp equals my input dot next int. Okay. Now, if the temp is less than 270, then we will print this, system.out.println. We will print this. The mixture isn't ready yet. And then we'll get them to enter another temperature. And if the temperature is less than 270, then we'll print the mixture isn't ready yet. And we'll keep doing that. But if the temperature is 270 or above, then not only will this not print out, but if it's 270 or above, then the loop is going to be done. And then when the loop is done, we can say system.out.println. Something about the Taffy is ready for the next step. So let's see, they did 40, 100, 200, 300. So let's run this and see what happens. Enter the temperature 40, 100, 200, 300. I think that's all we need. Okay, done with 4.1.6. On to 4.1.7, which is guess the number. So in this lesson, we're going to do something similar to what we did last time, but we're going to have the user keep guessing a number. So this part up here is already printed out. I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 10 and see if you can guess the number. So we need to get them to enter a guess. And we don't have a scanner object yet. So we can declare that scanner object outside of this loop. Scanner my input equals new scanner. And then inside here, let's say system.out.println, enter your guess. And then let's make another variable out here. Let's say int the guess is 0. enter your guess, and then we're going to say the guess equals my input dot next int. Okay, so if the guess is not equal to the secret number, then we will say system.out.println try again. And then we'll loop back up to the top, not up to the top, but no, we'll loop back up to here and ask them to enter another guess again. So this is all going to be, while true. And then I'm going to put this here, and then I'm going to take all of this and put it inside here. So we're just going to keep asking them for a guess, And if their guess is not equal to the secret number, then we say try again. Otherwise, their guess is equal to the secret number, so we can say break. And break will get out of this while, and then once we are out of this while, then we can say they are correct. So theoretically, this code will run continuously. So I messed up right here. Both my scanner object and the guess variable I'm going to define right here inside of this method, but not inside the while loop. Let's try this again. I'm thinking of a number. See if you can guess the number. Enter your guess. I'm thinking of a number. See if you can guess the number. Enter your guess. So as long as we enter numbers that are not the secret number, this loop just keeps going on and on, asking me to enter another number until I finally enter the correct number and it says correct. I'm pretty sure that's all we wanted to happen there. Okay, so then 4.1.8 is on divisibility. Okay, so they want us to write this method called extract digits. And as an example, if we say extract digits and we pass the number 54321, then we would like the output to be 12345, printing out each of the digits in the number. So they already have this populated with extract digits 2938724, so this should print out a 4, a 2, a 7, an 8, a 3, a 9, and a 2. So notice we don't know ahead of time how many digits long this number is going to be. So first of all, one easy way to get the ones digit is to do the number mod 10. So for example, if we say integer this digit equals the number mod 10, then we can do system.out.println this digit. So this should print out the ones digit, which is a 4. There we go. And if I change this ones digit to a 9, it should print out a 9. Okay, so that part's working correctly. this time I think we want to do the loop like this. While the number is greater than 0, because if it's greater than 0, then it has some digits. Then we'll do what I just did there. Okay, so while the number is greater than 0, get this digit and print it out. But that's not all, because if we just do that, it'll just print out 44444 forever. So now that we've got the ones digit, let's make the number smaller by a factor of 10. So in other words, our number, our number 2938724, we're going to divide that by 10, and we're going to get this, but because it's an integer, this is going to be integer division, which means the answer is just going to be 293872. And now the last digit is a 2, and we can go through this loop again and print the 2. And every time we're going to divide by 10, so every time through the loop, this number is going to get smaller by a factor of 10, which means eventually that number is going to get smaller than 1. But it's always going to be greater than 0. So I think I might want to say greater than or equal to 1 here instead of greater than 0. So let's see what happens if I run this. 4278392. So that looks like it's working. Now, what if we give it the number 1? What happens then? Let's do this. System.out.println. Try a big number. Try a small number. I just want to see how this prints out differently. So when the number was 1, it only printed out a 1, and that was it. If the number is 0, it's not going to print out that digit. Okay, so let me get rid of this, and get rid of this, and get rid of this. Okay, so I guess maybe I should have read this a little bit. Positive integers, so we don't have to worry about 0. Okay, I should have read that more closely. Oh, by the way, they said right there, hint, mod, and division operators are going to be very useful in this program. So there's 4.1.8. Okay, moving on to 419, which is on max and min. Okay, so here we're going to ask the user for a bunch of numbers until they decide to quit. And at every point, we're going to display on the screen what's the largest number so far and what's the smallest number so far. So we're going to need a couple variables to keep track of the numbers. So we're going to make a min that's for right now equal to 0. We're going to make a max that right now is equal to 0. And then we're also going to make a current number that right now is equal to 0. And then let's do a scanner object. And let's ask the user for a number. Enter a number. Actually, I want to try to remember what is the largest number in Java that we can represent. And I think it's 2 to the 31st power minus 1. So I'm going to say over here, instead of starting the minimum at 0 and the maximum at 0, I want the maximum to start at 0, but I'm going to have the minimum start at the maximum possible number, which is 2147, 48, 36, 47. 21, 47, 48, 36, 47. So there's a reason for this like switcheroo where I'm making the minimum start off to be the biggest number possible and the maximum start off to be the smallest number possible. And I'm saying 0 because we're asking them to enter positive numbers. So now this asking them for a number is actually going to go inside of our loop. While the current number is greater than 0, while the current number is greater than 0, I'm going to make this 1 because I really want this to be greater than 0 because they're supposed to enter positive numbers. While the current number is greater than 0, ask them to enter a number. And then we're going to say current number equals my input dot next int. And then we're going to do a couple of if statements. If the current number is less than the min, then let's make the min equal to this current number. And here's another if statement. If the current number is greater than the max, then make the max equal now to that current number. So if the current number is bigger than what was the max, make that the new max. And if the current number is less than what was the min, then make that the new min. And now that we've updated the min and the max, then we can say system.out.println these two statements here. System.out.println smallest number so far, and then a plus sign, and then the min, and then largest number so far, and then print out the max. And actually, we don't want to do any of these if the current number is -1. So maybe what we should first do is, maybe up here we should say if current number equals -1, then let's break. And if I do that, then this up here can just say while true. So we're going to keep asking them for numbers, enter a number, and then space, and then parentheses, -1 to quit, and then end that, and then colon. Okay, so let's see if this works. They're going to ask me for a number. I say 5. So far my smallest number is 5 and my biggest number is 5. This is correct. Then I enter 2. So far my smallest number is 2 and my largest is 5. Enter 100. So far my smallest is 2 and my biggest is 100. I think this is working. And that's it for that little lesson. So this is an example of putting a statement here which is always going to be true, and instead of checking this to see when the loop is over, have a certain condition within the loop cause you to break out of the loop. But anyways, that's it for Unit 4.1 Lesson 9. And then 4.1, and we're done with 4.1.